You're listening to The Watchers.
Are you sure?
I'm never sure.
That sounded like a question.
You're listening to The Watchers?
Yeah.
A show where two women from opposite ends of New Jersey, I don't know, Jody, wait a year or more to have a reason to make it through the week?
I'm so bummed that this is over. We watched the finale of Widow's Bay, and I am heartbroken that God knows when we're going to get this show back. At least we are going to get the show back.
Yes.
But you're Andrea.
Jody.
Perfect. I am Jody. You are Andrea. And man, I know it's cliche to be like, did they stick the landing? They stuck the fucking landing. They landed like that tornado that picked up Todd and flung him into the universe.
That's right.
They landed.
Yeah. Hell yeah, they did.
Oh, Katie Dippold.
Katie Dippold.
Love you. Love you. Come on this podcast.
Katie
Be our
Dippold,
third
come on our
Central
podcast.
Jersey co-host.
That's right. That's right. Ashley Lyle, that offer still extends to you as well. It's just, Katie's front center at the moment.
A big area. We can have them both.
We could have a couple.
They can swap out. I think they're both pretty busy.
That's a good point. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that would actually be a really kick-ass conversation. The two of them.
Wow.
Talking about like Central Jersey and horror.
Hey, listeners, if anybody out there can make that happen for us.
God, that'd be amazing. I'm sure they know each other in some way. Like just
in the
because
way
of who they are and their ages and where they're from.
Jersey
and Jersey. Yeah. This was such a good episode of television.
Man.
They should all be this long.
Yes.
Because it didn't feel like, it was like 48 minutes, I think, and it did not feel like it.
No, it still flew by. I know I'm not always the most articulate or coherent. I really feel at a loss today, so.
Oh, same. This is going to be an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe we'll just do like our big takeaways first and then go through any of the stuff that stuck out to us. Mm-hmm. What was resolved, what wasn't. Right? Like this resolved some of the big questions we had for sure.
Yeah, we started talking about this a little bit last week or the week before, the mystery box versus mystery of it all. And I said, like, one of the big differences for me is that sometimes a mystery is just giving you clues and you get to the answer and it is where it has been leading you the whole time and you could have figured it out yourself, and we did.
Yeah, and a lot of people did, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's still really satisfying.
Yeah. It was nice that they gave us a detour on the way there because like one of the things that, so we did think for a while that Evan was probably a secret descendant of Richard Warren. But I like that the detour took us through Ruth because one of the sort of underlying themes through this whole series has been like the value of older women in society and how they're always overlooked. And Patricia has been making jokes about it since the first episode.
You know what I thought about? You're saying something really smart and useful and important. And then also, I'm going to say this thing, which is in that first episode.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, that was brutal. Yeah. In the first episode, Patricia is talking about the boogeyman and if he comes back, whatever. And Tom says, like, well, you're in your 40s, so you'll be fine. And, why is that worse? He does come after her in her 40s.
He does, yeah.
So she was right to be worried. That's all.
But I want to put a pin in Patricia and the boogeyman because one of the sort of unanswered questions I have is like, why did she escape when she was younger? Like why, and what was the boogeyman doing? Like, I think when we have a larger question about the lore of the island, that's going to be a thing that comes up. But to just put a finer point on the older women thing, like throughout this season, Patricia, Rosemary, Ruth, like these older women, Patricia's younger than me. These women that are past like society's
prime,
the age that society gives a shit about, have always had a lot of knowledge and a lot of things to contribute to the story that's going on here, and a lot of information that's not being valued, recognized, whatever. Like Rosemary knows some shit.
Well, yeah. And the older they get, the less we get. Because like Patricia in that, again, first, like, did you tell me about my paintings? My poem didn't make the brochure. Trying to tell the boogeyman story and getting shut down.
Yeah.
And then Rosemary over and over again is trying to share. And the cool thing about Rosemary is whether everybody else is listening or not, she's
getting
the information out.
Yeah.
And then
she's going to tell you who has syphilis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Ruth has had all this information, and we have never even gotten a chance to know that until this episode.
Well, and because we are looking at this whole thing in this show not entirely, it's not like entirely Tom's POV, but it is kind of. He's our main character. We are being shown only really what he sees.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's not there, we're still sort of in Tom's perspective. And so this apparently is the first time that Tom has been in Ruth's house.
I know.
Like, and that just tells me that
Evan
and Evan stays there all the time.
Right.
But that tells me that Tom is like, I still love Tom, even though he tried to kill Ruth. But I do think that this episode shows us very clearly what has been hinted at all along, which is that Tom means really well when it comes to protecting his son and like has some real justifications for like trying to better the situation on the island, but also is really selfish, is like in the traditional meaning of like being very self-involved. He is talking all about what he wants to do for the island. You know who's doing things for the island? Fucking Ruth.
Right, yep.
She's helping Deirdre up and down those stairs every single day. Deirdre can get out of her house because Ruth is there to help her.
Well, and Tom even says like the reason he wants to do this stuff for the island is for Evan.
Right.
And even
but
that
it takes
is
him until now to admit it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and even that is a kind of selfishness.
Well, and he does add to that at the right afterwards, and that it was for him too. Like,
right, yes.
In his little, like, he thinks is going to be a deathbed confession to Ruth about his regrets. But yeah, I think that this really kind of highlights the fact that his verbal justifications for his actions do not actually match what his real behavior shows, right? Like, if he really cared about the people on this island, he would be, first of all, more realistic about what he's doing and what's happening on the island, because one thing we find out for sure in this episode is that he has, if not known outright every single thing that's been going on the island, he has known that shit's bad, right? Like, there's a reason Evan actually hasn't left the island, and it's not because he just happens to not have a reason to. Like, Tom has kept him from leaving the island because he knows something bad will happen. He may not know until now, like, there's some specific formula for like bell rings, sacrifice number of people that the bell rang for.
Here's
blah, blah,
how far
blah.
you can go.
Make sure they're scared. Like,
yeah.
He may not know all of the details, but he certainly knows more than we were led to believe in the beginning when he was like, absolutely no, this is all bullshit.
You think I'm going to be right about the Black Widow? About it being a Black Widow in the...
That there's a spider in there?
I mean, yeah. That specifically it's a giant monster Black Widow.
That would be, widows. Yeah.
I said it early on before we knew about, especially about all the motherhood stuff, and that we knew that there was an actual something. A lot of that was speculation, but
yeah, I just don't know if they're going to actually give it a form. Is my thing. Like when we talked about the Blair Witch connection, the idea that like not seeing the thing is scarier than actually knowing what the thing looks like. That said, in terms of their willingness to do physical makeup effects and things that, like with Richard Warren and stuff, to give physical form to some of these things.
Maybe we'll just get two little leggies poking out.
Yeah.
And
out of that door.
Yeah.
That door was left partly open.
Yes, it was.
Yikes.
I don't know how much. Yeah. I don't know. I love it. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we were right, not in a gloating way, because there was a chair with restraints in front of a door like that. Obviously, there's sacrifice stuff going on. I don't mean that. I'm just so excited that we're talking about it in the show and working with it. And I just think that's so fun.
Yeah. So maybe we're not going to do like a line by line recap or anything, but maybe we should kind of go through what happens in the episode and just pause wherever we want to highlight something. So like our first scene is the doctor's office, essentially, where Tom has broken in to look at Ruth's records. Ruth has really great thyroid numbers.
Yeah, she's doing great.
Wow. I would love for there to be like a note on my medical records that just says like, wow, in like a good way.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, I really love the sort of the running theme that we get throughout all of the Ruth interactions, starting at the doctor's office with her records, which is that this sort of daffy older woman that we have been led to feel like is confused and not on it and like just a, you know, silly old lady. There's all of this other stuff going on. She is like a completely different person almost in this episode. And I'm not saying that to say like I'm suspicious about it. Like old people are tired in the middle of the day.
Old people are, and also like she says, why do you think I
She's
still come to
still
work?
going in, yeah.
So of course, like I also wouldn't give a shit if I were just going,
right,
you
about
know,
the messages and
she's saving her energy for all the other stuff and for her 2-mile jogs in the evening.
I mean, the way she scampered up those stairs.
Oh my God, Jody, God, that made me laugh so hard. And then also, because the show's perfect, it's also like, okay, so what? So if she weren't the picture perfect
then
health,
it's
we'd feel
yeah. No, I loved the, like, he gets to her house, right? And he's got
chilling.
This,
it is, yeah.
He's got this blank look on his face. He's kind of stealing himself. He gets I almost said text message. He gets the walkie-talkie from Patricia being like, you don't have to do this. And Wick in the background. Yes, you do. But everything from the moment he walks into Ruth's house, first of all, I haven't had an alive grandparent since I was 25 years old. Yeah. And the last grandparent of mine that died was my grandma Mim, who I'm her namesake. And she was a grandma. Like, you would go to her house, there'd be plastic on some stuff. She'd have, like, you know, the floral patterns everywhere. I have never, like, wanted to just curl up in someone's living room like I did at Ruth's. Like,
I know.
She had some sewing stuff out. She did some cross-stitch. She's got a full calendar. She had a fun chicken painting on the wall that I liked.
That's a whole life in that house.
Exactly. But he gets there and she says, oh, you came to pick me up. I thought you'd all forgotten about me. Ruth. And they didn't. Patricia is the one in the beginning who was like, Ruth isn't here. Like, we need to do something. And that was when Tom was like, I gotta go get her. For real. But she is so welcoming and sharp and smart and like not kind of, how do I say this? Not falling for any of his shit in a way, even though she's falling for his shit. Like she
calls him a sad sack. Like,
and he decides that he doesn't want to wait 27 minutes to poison her with the tea, and she's like, "Well, I'm not wasting herbs, Tom."
Right? Yeah.
But in like a duh, you know, not in like a mean. He's a little confrontational with her at times, and she just diffuses it immediately. She's like, "I'm not wasting herbs, Tom."
Yeah.
Like obviously she grew those herbs.
She grew them.
Yeah. She's got a real herb garden going on out there.
And she's got 2 blends. She's got an indica and a sativa. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
The thing, thank God, Tom goes in so shut down. It takes 35 seconds for him to be like, why are we following Rosemary? Like, he's so badly either wants to be proven wrong so he doesn't have to kill her, or be given permission by her to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really, it's the ding dong ditch of it all, you know?
Yeah. He doesn't want to be Howard the Coward. One quick note on the medical stuff of Ruth's, the prescription and the notes, they're all from 2012. I just want to point that out.
Ruth is too healthy and too 84 years old to not be seeing a doctor regularly.
Exactly. Like, and it shows up multiple times, the 2012 of it all. It's on the prescription that he takes with him, and it's on her records. So are we in 2012 is what I want to know. I mean, time is fucked on this island. We know this. But I just want to put a note on that. Like, hang something. What do you call it? When you hang a thing on a thing to note it? I don't know the phrases. You know.
I don't know.
I've got ADHD.
You want to hang a...
there's a phrase.
Hang a...
I swear there is.
Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Did we see in her on the prescription bottles a date?
I did not. It was very small, and I was like taking a photo of the screen with my phone.
Because those are controlled substances, so either she's held on to them for wherever we are in time until then, or we're further in the past, or there's some shit going on. I wonder if we're going to find out that the island, it's not that they're in our past, but they like track time differently or something.
Yeah, I just wanted, because we talked so much about time last week, I wanted to add into the mix, the 2012 of it all.
I can't believe I didn't look at that. Thank you for catching that.
Well, also her address, this doesn't really, I don't think, mean anything serious, but it's funny to me that it's 18 Wells Hollow Road. The Wells Hollow. There's a well and it's hollow. There's stuff under it. Yeah.
The Wells Hollow.
Yeah. I think we should talk about...
Dick Hole Street.
Yeah, Dick Hole Street. I think we should talk about the Ruth and Tom stuff as a whole first, and then talk about the shelter stuff as a whole. Because it's just, we're going back and forth the whole time.
Yeah.
So basically, like you said, he's having doubts because they're going off of Rosemary's genealogy. But he sees the medication. He can't get in touch with Patricia after this at all. And I think that also is kind of like upping his panic.
Yeah.
Even before he hears like the screaming through the walkie-talkie, the fact that he can't get in touch with them.
And all he wants to hear is whether or not Evan's okay.
Right. Also, the kitchen stool that Ruth has in her house, I have the exact same one, and I refinished it recently.
Hell yeah.
But so while they wait for that 27-minute tea, was it lavender and chamomile?
I think so. And the other one's peppermint, yeah.
Right. Ruth gives him a house tour. Because again, he's never been to her house. She is his assistant. So again, time is weird on the island. We're not going to pin down exactly how long Tom's been mayor or how long, but we do know that like Lauren died. So Evan's about 17, right? Lauren died when he was about 2-ish. So Tom's been on the island for at least 17 years.
Right.
Because that's how old Evan is. Ish. That's a long time.
Yeah.
To not ever,
especially when your child is being watched by her. I would want to take a look in that house.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
He has his own room with a poster of a car that looks like my first car. It looks like my Ford Tempo.
Aww.
Why would you have a poster of like the most generic American 1980s car in the world on the wall? It's so cute.
She picked it up at a yard sale because I'm more like, why did they make that poster?
Yeah. She shows how Evan wanted an emergency ladder in case of a fire. But then we get the best, like this. Rosemary got her moment last week with her monologues throughout the genealogy process. We get Ruth and her dating history.
Holy shit, Jody.
I'm obsessed.
Everything about it is...
She was a looker.
Perfect.
A lot of people made a pass, including the priest and the nun.
That's right.
I don't blame them.
Made a pass every time.
Yeah.
My highlight.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. The most direct information we have gotten from anyone in this show is from Ruth. If they had just asked her, the two things that we learned that I loved most were something got daddy in the lake. First of all,
something got daddy in the lake.
What? But then, of course, the absolute best thing, the way she says,
go for it.
My Alfred, I loved him so much. Old boyfriend, yes, but he got bit by an animal and became that animal.
Yeah, and moves right along after that.
Because it's normal for her.
Yes, that's the thing. The whole point to me of all of these conversations, or all of these little anecdotes from Ruth that she talks about with Tom, is that Ruth has adapted to being on this island. This is her life. She is not trying to change it. She is trying to live through it. And it goes back to what Wick was saying about, like, when Tom got attacked by the sea hag and he was like asking like, what the fuck, what do we do? And Wick is like, I don't know, you just survive it. Like,
right. You lock yourself in a trunk and you deal with it.
Yeah. And like Ruth's version of this is even more adjusted than Wick's, which is like, life is a horror show. Like, shit happens. You just deal with it. And you like, and you could see that as fatalistic, but like, if you're living on top of a Hellmouth island that you cannot leave because you were born there, like, what else are you supposed to do? And what you're not going to do, because you're Ruth and you've got very clear moral lines, is you're not going to kill someone yourself,
right,
or cause someone's death so that you can possibly save the crowd. Like, Ruth's clarity on the trolley problem was such a beautiful moment. Before we get to that real quick, though, so Alfred got bit by an animal and then became that animal. Then there was Howard the Coward, the mayor, who also probably made a pass. The priest made a pass. The nun made a pass. Everyone made a pass. She was a looker.
That's right.
But then, so we get all this history. We don't get the sort of secret dating history until later on. But they're talking about this horror show of an island. And so Tom brings up the trolley problem. And I love that they just name it when like, because all the people watching this show closely are like, trolley problem. And they're like, yeah, it's a trolley problem.
It's a trolley problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But she explains the morality of it from her perspective so clearly. Right?
I love when she's like, I'm the lever. Like, nobody thinks about it that way.
Exactly. Like, she's not going to make a choice to end someone's life. Like, it's an illusion of control.
Right.
She shows him her cross stitch. That's a lot of words to cross stitch.
It is so funny, first of all, that she does have, this grandma kind of cross stitch, but she's got this Tennessee Williams quote. It's so long. Also that it's another moment of her not being able to read something and skipping to the whatever part, can't read that. I did pull the full quote, and I think it is, first of all, the part that she cuts out is less relevant in that moment, but the world is violent and mercurial. It will have its way with you. We are saved only by love for each other. And this is the part that, of course, I'm a sucker for. And the love that we pour into the art, we feel compelled to share. Being a parent, whatever, being a writer, being a painter, being a friend. We live in a perpetually burning building. And what we must save from it all the time, is love.
Yeah.
Tennessee Williams made a pass.
Right. It's so good, though, because it's like he is trying so hard to get her to justify his choices for him. And she's just like, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, I feel very solid about the way I feel on this subject. This is also where she says, when he asks if she's heard of the trolley problem, she says, you mean back in 42 when we tried to build one and all the workers disappeared? The casualness with which there are all these little lore drops is so fun to me.
Well, and especially now that they've kind of given us this formula, like you said, all along, but we've had it so confirmed now. Like, did they all disappear because 42 was the last time the island demanded many sacrifices?
That's the thing. I think that we can go back, like, when we talk about the overarching lore, I think we can go back and look at every single one of those, like the shipwreck of XYZ year, and then this thing, the cannibalism in the church, and blah, blah, blah. Like, all these different casualty events were the island acting out.
Right.
And because it hadn't had a sacrifice, right? And so the way to stop those disasters, plagues, etc., is by satisfying the need of the island for a sacrifice.
It's another trolley problem, just a much bigger one.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think all of those, like, events on the Historical Society wall, essentially, are times the island was, like, acting out because it hadn't got what it wanted. But the thing that triggers Tom is he sees the brooch. He's, like, trying to convince her to give him permission to kill her, essentially, but then also fighting with himself about it. And then he sees the brooch. And it's like, well, this is confirmed. This is the last descendant. I have to do this. It reminds him of what he's doing and why.
And it's the moment we've been waiting for all season of, where did you get that?
Yeah.
Family heirloom.
She's so proud of it, too.
She puts it on.
I know. Yeah. Because that's the thing. To him, it's like a marker of death. And to her, it is like her ancestor that survived and managed to continue this bloodline that led to her and to Evan and to Lauren and the whole thing. But he crushes up her pills. I'm sorry. I know that maybe we're just supposed to buy that she doesn't taste it. Those pills are bitter for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the lavender tea is not going to cover it.
Not going to cover it.
But it also reminded me of when Tom is dosed by Todd.
Yeah.
Like, that same thing, like mixing it into the tea. It's like a repeated motif.
Yeah, and there's something so old-fashioned about that in both instances.
Yeah. But it doesn't work right away.
No.
And it may not actually work, period, because when you mix one pill of each of those medications, like, it doesn't mean it's going to just kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
lots of people
accidentally do that. Yeah. Or purposefully.
Yeah.
But she's slowing down, and it gives
it's
Tom
just made her a little loose-lipped more than anything.
And maybe those times at work when she was confused, she'd mixed up her medications.
That's possible.
You know?
Oh, wow. Maybe she's just got a tolerance to this because she has been mixing them up.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
So she's slowing down, and this gives Tom, I think, permission to sit down and do some confessing. It also gives Matthew Rhys a moment to really stretch his dramatic chops, which I love, because he is primarily, until now, a dramatic actor.
He's very good in this.
He's very good, yeah. He talks about, and this is basically his confession, he talks about how he knew. Like, he didn't know maybe everything, but he knew Lauren had tried to tell him about the island, and he just didn't listen. And he kept trying to bring people there. He brought families there. He laughed when Lauren tried to tell him about the curse of the island. And then once she had her stroke, he said, like, he really knew. And he said, I'm sorry, but I had to make it right. And when he goes up to her and she sits up and she says, where was I? That was the summer my Aunt Betty stopped speaking.
We thought she was just pouting? Is that what she...
Yeah.
But it wasn't that?
No, it wasn't that.
Huh, interesting. Yeah. Just the balance in this show is, I know we talk about it all the time, but to go from that to such a laugh is...
And its timing is great because you kind of need it after Tom has done his little confession and you're like, oh my God, he is trying to kill her for real. How do we deal with the fact that our quote unquote hero is really going there? Like, I kept being like, Tom, don't do this. Don't do this. I don't want to hate you for trying to kill this old woman, you know?
It really, to me, turned into a horror movie.
Yeah.
At this point, too, something about, and I guess it's because she's drugged, but something about the way she delivers this confession is genuinely scary to me, even though we knew where it was going, and just Tom's reaction and the tension of, is he gonna, you're like waiting for him to start smothering her at any moment.
Right.
My heart was racing.
Yeah, no, it was super tense. Like, and this is right after he's heard the screaming over the walkie-talkie.
Yes, right.
Because he was talking to Patricia. He comes downstairs, we see he's got that pillow in his hand. And the thing he says is, she's a good person and doesn't deserve this. And that's when she comes up with the fact that has to stop him in his tracks, which is, of course, and I saw a lot of people before this episode aired in the Reddit forums being like, trying to do the math of like, well, could she be Lauren's mom? I was like, people can have children after 40.
I love that it had never occurred. Like, she even says, like, I was young. No, I wasn't.
No,
I was 40.
But that's how the timing works out. Like, yes, she's 84. She had a kid at 40.
Right.
Lauren would be 44.
There you go.
Yeah, because I saw someone in the Reddit forums be like, maybe she's her great-grandmother? I'm like, women do not just, like...
She's not suddenly...
fall into dust at 27.
Her uterus didn't, turn to dust and fall out of her vagina because she turned 40.
Right. But, she had an affair with a married man, and he wouldn't leave his wife, so she let them raise the kid themselves. But, man, the way she says, while she's slumped over on the couch, and I watched her fall in love with you, Tom, and his face as it, registers on him, is so good.
And it should be, a beautiful moment, and it is just... Yeah, I mean, and again, we knew this. We knew this was, we were getting here, and it still made my stomach drop and just. They're both. What an incredible scene! Yeah. And the way he recoils, like, physically, and yeah.
But once it all sort of registers on him, she gets one more comedic line, which is that the pull-out method doesn't work, which is another fun echo. But finally, he comes back around.
Wait, time out. It is so important that Evan understands that the pull-out method doesn't work, because if Evan gets somebody pregnant,
right,
he's no longer the last descendant.
Exactly.
Like, the bloodline has to end with Evan either way. Even if all they do is say, like, we'll let Evan die of old age. Like, we're just going to hunker down and live out this island curse.
Well, alternatively, he could get someone pregnant and then they could kill the baby. Sorry, that was really dark.
Well, does that...
Oh, no, because then he's still alive. That doesn't make any difference. Well,
sure, but yeah. Is this like a technicality? Like Julius Caesar being born of a hymn section?
Like a loophole?
Well, he was the last living... Oh.
Probably not.
Dang.
Yeah. Anyway, don't kill babies. But Matthew Rhys, our lovely Tom, comes around finally and says, well, I can't, not only can I not kill my mother-in-law, but wouldn't matter anyway because my son is still the problem. Yeah. But it was really sweet, the brief moment before Bashir comes in when he has helped her off the couch. And then he like settles into a hug from her, and you realize that he has been shouldering all of this. Like, he has Wick, he has Patricia, but family-wise, he's been shouldering this pain of losing his wife, trying to protect Evan, understanding what's going on the island and not wanting to reckon with it, all on his own shoulders.
Right. Being a not very good mayor.
Yeah. But, like, when he kind of sinks into her, you do realize, like, how much he is holding on to and how hard it's been, and how much easier it would be if he would, like, actually embrace the community that is there for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good point, too, because this island, I mean, they're all fucking weirdos, but it is pretty
it's a community.
Tight-knit.
Outside, he's not in that community because he separated himself from it, but they're a community.
Yeah, I mean, Ruth has Story Club. Like, there's stuff going on all the time.
I want to go to Story Club with Ruth.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
can we have a whole episode of just Story Club?
How much would Tom understand about this island if he'd gone to Story Club?
Yeah. I took some photos. Hold on, I have her calendar.
Gone to Ruth's house 15 years ago, and Ruth said, oh, well, something got Daddy in the lake, or he got bit by an animal and became that animal.
Right. Yeah, there's so much he could have learned just by engaging with other people. Just a few things that are on Ruth's calendar before we move on from this, because we're about to finish the Ruth section. So Ruth is very busy, right?
Yes.
Every day she's got help Deirdre down, help Deirdre up, right? Every day. Other things on Ruth's calendar. Goat yoga. 11 a.m. There's at least one night where it says Evan tonight. She has goat yoga every Tuesday, by the way. Every Thursday, she has her librarian's knitting classes at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Very exciting. Bingo at 1 o'clock.
Trivia night.
Lunch with Barbara. Call with Francis. She has lots of calls with Francis.
I love
at 8:30.
Francis?
Yeah. Francis.
What do you mean?
I know. It says call with Francis, 8:30. Yeah, there's also a painting on her wall that looks very much like a sibling of the painting in the office.
Yeah, I saw that too. Is she...
Pick up groceries for brunch. Aqua aerobics at 8 a.m. on Saturdays, multiple Saturdays. And then on the 31st of this month, which I believe is a June calendar or July calendar, it would be July, Deadhead the Daisies.
It's September.
Oh, it's September. Deadhead the Daisies. No, it's not September because there's 31 days.
Well, I just mean like the last we heard there was a baseball game next week in September.
Yeah, except it's clearly it's many months at a time. So yeah, I just thought it would be fun to see all the stuff that she does, and there's a lot.
Okay.
One of the other ones that I missed is feed Larry's gerbils.
Aw.
She's just taking care of everyone.
Yeah.
Take compost out.
I can't believe you're not reacting bigger
to the Frances thing.
To the Frances thing.
There's no way to know what it means.
Well, especially because Ruth is so settled into this island that if you found out that she had a weekly call with one of her ancestors who is dead, or like, you know how you know, back in the old days when people would be accidentally buried alive, you'd have the bell. Or there's that episode of The Twilight Zone with the person talking to somebody who's calling from the grave. Like, I would not blink if Ruth was like, oh, it's a call with my generation's dead ancestor Frances. What?
Yeah.
And something in the late got daddy.
I mean, you know, all this whole calendar is a choice. Mm-hmm. But Story Club, Evan, Lunch with Candace, etc. But yeah, the interesting things to me were, I just thought goat yoga was cool. Yes. She's composting and possibly talking to her dead ancestor.
It's the kind of life that I'm really working toward, you know?
Right. That's the thing. She's feeding people's gerbils. Mm-hmm. She's having lots of like brunches. She's contributing to her community. She's getting her
going
exercise.
To live forever because, as we all know,
yes,
the best predictor for positive outcomes in life is the breadth and depth of your relationship and your connection to your community.
Yep. Yeah.
She's doing great.
And she's walking 2 miles on that treadmill.
That's right. But she's super hydrated too.
Oh, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So just to tie up this section, of course, the big dramatic ending, Tom has decided he's not going to kill Ruth. He hugs her. He's going to take her to the doctor. And then.
Perfect. Again, awful, but perfect.
Man with a gun.
Yep. Another desperate man.
Yep. Also trying to protect his child. Mm-hmm. He shoots poorly. He shoots Ruth. Now, 2 things to note here. Number 1, Tom lies to Bashir about not knowing who the last descendant is. Bashir says you're always lying. So there's going to be some suspicion between the 2 of them, obviously. The other thing to note is that, at least as of now, Ruth is not dead.
Right.
We don't know that Ruth has died.
Yeah. I am assuming she's surviving.
I assumed that as well, but when he threw the brooch into the ocean, I, for a moment, thought that was like a saying goodbye.
Interesting, because I was like, you can't just throw somebody's brooch into the ocean, Tom.
Yeah.
But if she's gone.
Right. It seemed to me like a farewell, but also then every person on the internet seems to think Ruth is fine and alive, so I don't know. I'm going to just see what happens. But my assumption at first was that she died because of that. That's a thing you do.
Yeah.
You return something to the water, whatever. I will say, clearly this tide washes everything in.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. But
yeah.
So yeah, that's setting a lot up for next season with Bashir knowing that there is a survivor.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
I don't know why I've been thinking this, but I just kind of had it in my head that you can't kill Ruth. I don't know if it's being the descendants thing, because it's not that all of the descendants are
immortal. You mean?
Yeah. Like,
right.
Just that, like, she's being protected. But there's no...
That's interesting.
There's no reason for it other than the island having a vested interest in her, except that we do have Evan, so...
Right. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Because, Richard Warren couldn't die until he left the confines of the borders of that's the same thing, the borders of the island.
Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming the boogeyman is, if not in, well, so I have a couple of thoughts. We'll save it for the end.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about that boogeyman a lot.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Either way, like, I just kind of, and nobody has given me any reason other than I've just assumed that.
No, but that's a good thing to note, because I think you're right that, like, if Richard Warren can't be killed,
right,
then why would we assume that his descendants could?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
except that would mean there were, because I wrote down everybody, because Rosemary's genealogy is so vast and sprawling. I wrote down the direct lineage, and it's quite a few. So that would be a lot of immortal, unless, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, how long, So.
Well, the boogeyman is one thing that makes me wonder about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
We're in shelter number 3.
Mm-hmm.
How excited were you for all the Lost references in this episode?
It's so Losty.
I kept thinking, not only do we have a hatch, we have like shelter number 3, which tells us there's like other shelters.
Other shelters, other hatches, maybe.
Other hatches. We have a old school film strip.
Oh man, the way you feel about an overhead projector is how I feel about an old school film strip.
Yeah.
So good.
I was impressed Dale knew how to turn it on and run
I know.
But before we get to that, we're in the shelter. We have 137 people. Interesting note. Because theoretically, if there's shelter 3, there's other shelters, but all of the people we know that are in the town hall and the town government are in shelter 3.
Yeah, it seems like they just
seems like that's everybody.
Yeah, that they just didn't open.
Right. Wick is talking about keeping everyone calm. Rosemary lets us know that the woman who had her job before her said don't go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Never told her why, just don't. But this shelter is more sprawling than we first saw last week.
Mm-hmm.
There's a doctor's office in the shelter. There's a kitchen. It's like a whole setup.
Yeah. Yeah, like they were expecting to, because, obviously these kinds of shelters exist in real life, but like, you could really, other than the MREs going bad, but you know what? I was going to say, and them not having that many, they're like really set up to stay for a long time, as if maybe, but then the lack of MREs and water is like, maybe that's because that already has happened where people had to stay under for a long time,
or
and that's
because
why they're almost out.
Or because there's been a lull, right? So like we can talk about this piece too, but there's been a time period where things have been calm because Tom has been on this island for 17 plus years.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering, this is also for the end, but like what specifically?
Yeah, there's been some time since a big event like this has occurred. And so does that mean that like there has been a behind the scenes council taking care of things to keep the island happy? And like a lot of this is the speculation that I've seen online about like, well, what happened to that council? How did this information not get passed down to Tom, et cetera, et cetera? Like, where's the disconnect?
Break in the link, the break in the chain.
Because you would think that, like, Rosemary would know more than she knows. You would think Tom would have more information. Bryce didn't know the extent until he read the documents when the bell tolled, but he clearly knew something.
Right. He'd been given some, yep.
But so this shelter is my nightmare. Being trapped underground, first of all, no good for me. Number 2, with a bunch of people that are volatile.
There's my problem. The underground. I live underground most of the time. I'm underground right now. I love being a little naked mole rat, but I am clothed, just for the record, listeners.
But being underground where like you don't have control over when you get out, no thank you. And with a bunch of people that are getting more and more agitated and you don't you don't know how or when things are going to calm down. So we've got a few things happening. We've got the crowd getting restless, especially when they realize the food has gone bad. Mm-hmm. Some tourist asshole in a fleece giving people shit.
Yeah.
I do like that Rosemary smacks him in the head with a clipboard at one point.
She's the best.
Go for it. I love her. Mm-hmm. And then we have the doctor's office piece with Shell and Bashir. Mm-hmm. I love, this is so old-fashioned. He's like, oh, everything's fine. Let me take your husband outside and immediately tell him everything's not fine.
Yep.
Gotta be kidding me.
Yes. I very much felt that. Also, I didn't know you went to med school. Was that the line?
Yeah, that was the same line that he gave Tom. Yeah, he's got some running barbs. Shell's not due for another 7 weeks, but apparently she's gone into labor.
Right. Which again, like, people go into labor 7 weeks early all the time, and there's like, and stress can also, and blah, blah, blah. But 7 weeks, Yeah,
it's pretty significant. Also, the doctor is humming Phantom of the Opera for some reason.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but it was notable because it was recognizable immediately.
Yeah. I just wonder if in the writer's room they were like, what would be the weirdest?
Yeah. We get some fun, not even Easter eggs. We get some fun, really obvious things on the wall, posters, like the what to do in terms of insect bite, snake bite, spider bite, animal bite, human bite.
Human bite.
Human bite.
Yep.
Yeah, I screenshotted that to see if there was anything fun in there besides the fact that human was added. Nothing out of the ordinary.
You really got to be careful about an animal bite, because I think if you get bit by an animal on that island, you become that animal.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I was kind of like, what's hidden in there? But
yeah,
there isn't that much. So like animal bite, apply pressure, first aid, blah, blah, blah. Do not use dirty bandages. It's all pretty standard information.
Right.
But just the fact that human bite is on there and the drawings, like
I know
the guy's mouth.
That mouth. You know, a lot of the recurring things that we've just been like, they do not want us to forget about teeth.
No, they really don't.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but teeth are a real also, running thread.
The scariest scene in Blair Witch is when they find the little package of bloody teeth. And
yeah. I wonder if there's going to be an explanation for that, or if it's just the teeth are creepy.
Right.
So this kind of lights a fire under Bashir, especially when he realizes that he can't find Tom. And then he clearly gets Patricia to explain, because Rosemary just lays everyone's shit out there on the table. Yeah, so Bashir's looking for water, and Rosemary comes in. She nicely saved him 2 cans of water.
I know.
But then she just outright outs like Patricia and Tom and Wick, and she says they've been sneaking around after learning about the genealogy on Ruth. And she's like, they're not telling me anything. Guess I'll go fuck myself.
Well, if they had included her more, maybe she would have kept her trap shut. You don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's when we get Bashir leaving. Meanwhile, our off-island tourists are getting restless. Wick's trying to calm people down. We've got one of my favorite characters in this show, who we just found out that the actor sadly passed away in December.
It's really sad, yeah.
Our old-timer.
God, I love him.
He is such... I know that in this show he's from coastal Massachusetts, probably, but his accent and affect is so down East Maine. Like, there's the typical, like, you can't get there from here. I'm not going to try to do the accent. I lived there for a couple of years. I did hear it.
Just keep the river on your left. You'll come to crossroads, and let me see. Then again, you can take that scenic coastal route that the tourists use. And after you get to Bucksport, well, let me see now. Millinocket. Come to think of it, you can't get there from here.
It's like the Martin's commercial accent.
But also just the delivery of everything he has said.
But that's the down East Maine delivery, too. And so he's the person who they close the door on in the office. Again, listen to the old people, guys.
Yep.
They close the door on him, and then he also has a bit of a Debbie Downer vibe, where he's like, well, other storms have lasted twice that.
I love that every time we hear him talk, it's off screen first. It's like he just kind of comes in with some island lore, and then we get his face. I don't know why, but that's so funny to me.
Yeah. No, he's so great.
Yeah.
He also is unintentionally maybe like triggering people by being like, we can go weeks without food, but not water.
Water. That's right.
So as people are starting to freak out, meanwhile, 2 other things are happening. Dale is having his Dharma Initiative training.
Thank God. Perfect person. You don't have a face like Jeff Miller and not let him use it.
He has 2 different, like,
face moments.
Jaw face moments. The first when he sees the first film strip, and the second when they come back to him after watching because there's the For Them, which is, so you're an offering. And then there's the For Us or For You one, where it's, for the people facilitating the murder of their fellow islanders.
You will be tempted to comfort them. Do not. Their fear is necessary. They say it likes the taste.
Yes. This is very From, actually, the show that I stopped watching because it drove me nuts. But in that show, I believe whatever was in control, whatever supernatural force, who knows if it's changed since then, it probably has, but was
the fear was part of it.
The fear was part of it, yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah,
I think you let out different chemicals. I know you do. You let out different chemicals when you're afraid.
Yeah. But this was very Lost, very Dharma Initiative.
in that second film strip, when you see everybody with their heads covered, and
oh my God, I know. That's really dark.
Yes.
That's probably the darkest thing we've seen, because it's like, it's in the realm of reality.
Yes.
Like, this is things humans have done to other humans, not the malevolent force of the island.
Exactly.
Like, this is what Ruth is talking about. This is the trolley problem.
Right.
Like, this is the way that you go from being a part of a horrific world to being an agent of that world. You know?
And you know what? This is also he said, like, in the film for them, also the us and them. So you're an offering. You've been carefully selected by a committee of your peers, which, as you said, where is this committee? In a very fair, very rigorous selection process. Also, who knows if that's true? Maybe you've committed a crime or owe a debt to society, or have been found wanting in some way, which could be a lot of things. Although you'll never know, take comfort in the fact that there's an absolutely unassailable reason you're here. Accept your fate and take pride. Your sacrifice will save countless members of our community from needless suffering. Thank you again for your sacrifice. Widows Bay thanks you. It is that language of, like...
It's eugenics.
Yeah, it's like...
To me, this is like... This just popped into my brain, but as someone who has... Again, this is going to sound so weird out of context, who spent a lot of time studying eugenics and the sterilization movement that was a part of eugenics. Those women who were sterilized, many were done. It was done without their knowledge, but it was also seen as you are wanting in some way, and you are bettering society by not continuing your bloodline.
And it's the lack of specificity. We don't actually know what the selection process entails.
I'm convinced that it means that it's nothing fair, because the thing is with eugenics and with sterilization, all of those decisions that were quote unquote scientific were pseudoscience, and they were based on racism, and they were based on
exactly.
I mean, they were like, the people that were sterilized were mentally ill, feeble-minded, in the words of the time, right? Or of another race or sexuality.
Right.
And so it was us and them. Like, this is, to me, very clearly, like, linked to that movement in some way, which is why immediately I was like, oh, yeah, sure, there's a fair reason.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so we should just sterilize all criminals, which is part of what they thought during eugenics. We should, like, it's the philosophy of the U.S. that the Nazis borrowed from us.
Right. And
literally.
It's the idea that, like, there are certain people who get to decide what is morally right or wrong, which is, I mean, I know that's...
Yeah, these people are not voluntary sacrifices.
Yeah.
Like, they were decided by other people who had their own reasons, and So
I'm so curious about that committee, what it has looked like, if there even was. Who knows? That's the other thing. Who knows if there even has been a committee?
I'm pretty sure there has been, though, because it's come up a number of times. So there was the committee in the old time in 1702.
I was going to say, right, I do believe that they were, the first kind of council of elders,
Right. I also just want to note that Patricia finds a note that says, if you can read this, I'm already dead, which is such a classic, like, horror movie. Yeah. I also, in the background at one point, this is why I have the captions on. Again, just to throw this into our timeline stew, in the background at some point you see a caption on the screen where someone says, a paramedic was stabbed last night.
So last
the day
night
after Patricia's running from the boogeyman.
Right.
So again, it's yesterday, and it was 3 months ago, and it was tomorrow, and it was 2012.
That is how, like, urban legends and stuff work. Because, like,
yes.
Do you know anybody who has said that they know somebody who was, who had a dog die when they were living in a city, and they had to take it somewhere, like, to the vet or whatever, and put it in a suitcase on the train? No. And then somebody stole the suitcase on the train?
No. This is not an urban legend I'm familiar with.
I have had more than one person say they know somebody that has happened to. And I've had to be like, sounds so brutal, but I have to tell you, somebody is lying to you, because that's just one of those. And it's always like, it happened yesterday, but that story's been told for 30 years.
Well, it's a razor blades and the apples on Halloween.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And so
it's the whole premise of the show you're wrong about.
Right, yes. But it's just like, to see that made kind of like manifest here.
Yeah.
In this island that is, like we keep saying, weird New Jersey.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
the chaos in the basement is truly kicked off by one of the best scream queens I've ever seen. Our Dale. He's silhouetted in that doorway. He comes out. This place is a death trap.
Well,
run.
The way his little voice is like quivering.
I know.
Because we've seen that Jeff Hiller move. Like, he's so good at that. And then it explodes so big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really great.
And one other thing that I think we forgot to mention that prompts the panic also is the guys fucking with the radio. And they get the recording that plays. Listen to your facilitator. Don't panic. Like, there's a whole...
please move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So...
scary.
Very scary. He's right. It is a death trap.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not for the people down there at that exact moment, but it definitely is
a literal death trap.
Yeah. But meanwhile, the teens are being teens.
Mm-hmm.
I still think something's up with PJ just because he is a dick.
It's so hard to tell because, like,
he's probably just a dick, but
so it could go. It really could go either way. And the scariest thing in the world is a teenage boy. So, like,
no, the scariest thing in the world is multiple teenage boys together.
Yes, that's a good point.
But yes,
but if you found out, and I do love that it's hard to tell. Still, it could go either way at this point.
I wrote, I don't trust this idiot.
Mm-hmm. Which I texted you, and I was like, I wish we'd talked about that more on mic, because you did say that. We did talk about that once, just like kind of right after meeting PJ, that we're like, don't know that I trust
something's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps bringing them to places that are dangerous for them. He convinces Evan to try to go into the boogeyman's house. Yep. He's constantly the instigator of these things.
Which, again...
yeah, he could be just a teenage boy. I mean, like, okay, here's where my line is, right? As they're climbing down that creepy ladder into Laszlo's lair, Laszlo Hollyfeld's,
obviously.
Obviously. Yeah. Real genius for those who don't know. They're climbing down the stairs, or the ladder, essentially. Now, as an adult, I'm like, absolutely not.
No way.
As a 17-year-old, I would have done that.
The dream.
Yes. Tunnels underneath, great. I'm going through those tunnels. I'm excited. I'm having fun. I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm going to smoke a joint, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Where I draw the line, I'm not hopping in that fucking chair.
No way.
Absolutely not.
No.
Like, when I broke into the abandoned mental hospital when I was 19 years old, yes, I went into the basement. Did I interact with anything in that basement? Absolutely not.
No fucking way. Yeah.
I'm not sitting in that chair no matter how much money you pay me. Kelly, you are either an evil demon or an idiot.
Yeah, these two kids, man. Kelly also being like...
the off-island girl. We've talked about sirens and sea hags and like I feel like she is a little bit of a siren here. She's leading Evan into a very dangerous place as well.
The one who was so eager to snoop in the house.
Yeah, and she
I hate
immediately
to blame a
hops
teenage
up.
girl. Yeah,
I know. But when PJ is like, let's go explore, she's like, yeah, let's go right now, before Evan even does. And when he hesitates, she like kisses him to drag him along.
Right.
So, I don't trust her either, honestly. But yeah, she sits in the chair. PJ sits in the chair. Evan smartly does not sit in the chair.
Right.
Because he's not quite as dumb as they are.
Right.
But poor Kenny.
Poor Kenny, huh?
Kenny's the same one who was talking to the trash can about how full it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's a bummer. I liked him.
He tells him to get out. He's being the adult in the room. And fucking PJ closes the door on him.
I know. Which is
I'm telling you. Is he an asshole teenage boy or is he a demon?
Right. Or both.
Or both. Evan tries to let him out. Like, I do think that Evan is falling now to me on the side of like, because there were moments where I was like, why is he being such a dick to his dad about the priest dying and all this stuff? He is falling on the side of clueless teenage boy that sometimes is a jerk because he doesn't have all of his brain cells developed yet.
Right. And lived through
and
pretty
PJ is an actual dick.
Yeah, and I don't know that there are any therapists on this island.
Probably not. And if they are, I would not go to them.
It's Rosemary.
Yeah. But PJ closes the door. Evan tries to let him out, but the door will not open. And he hears Kenny scream. And the storm stops.
And the storm stops. One thing to note real
The
quick.
hatch has been fed.
The hatch has been fed. The storm stops. And back at the shelter, they think that Ruth has died.
Right.
Back at the house, they're not sure why. We're kind of, this is another difference maybe between Mystery and Mystery Box, maybe. Is that like, who has the most information right now?
Yeah.
It's us.
Yes.
As opposed to Mystery Box Show where it's like, there's all this stuff going on that you feel like, if two people would talk to each other, but it's like, we really have more access than anybody at this point.
Yeah, because Evan has some information, right? Tom has some information. Ruth has some information. Rosemary, like everyone, Dale, we don't know. I mean, Dale's going to at least tell Rosemary what he saw because they gab. But like next season, some of what the drama is going to depend on is how much communication there has been.
Exactly. And it'll be for us to watch all that come together and knowing to some degree.
Right. Because there's still things we don't know as the audience for sure. But like we have same, we have bits from various people that we don't know that they're telling each other.
Right.
Because you're right. Like Patricia and Wick think that they've killed Ruth. But we have to assume that we don't have to assume actually. I was going to say we have to assume Tom will tell Patricia and Wick what he knows after all of this, that there's another descendant. But if it's his son... Wow, and Wick was ready to put a bullet in Ruth's head.
Yeah, exactly.
Wick probably is willing to put a bullet in Evan's head, too.
At the very least, my guess is even like
Tom has to keep this secret now because otherwise somebody's going to be out for Evan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if he thinks he could trust Wick to not maybe kill his son, it's still something.
And I don't think he thinks that.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with how willing he was to immediately put a bullet in the back of a 84-year-old woman's head.
Right. Yeah. So I think this is.
Like, I think he could trust Patricia with that information because she was never willing to do it in the first place.
Exactly. And I wonder if, now you saying that, if Ruth is dead, because then it's like
the
everybody
secret died with her. Yeah.
Well, the secret died with her. Good. Yes. Also, like if there's a small period of calm because they did have that one sacrifice. We also don't know who can hear the bell necessarily to know how many. We know Dale knows how many sacrifices need to be had.
We don't know if Tom knows yet that the number means anything either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because things have calmed down. He may think, well, it's done for now because who knows why.
Right. Exactly.
Like he doesn't know why the storm stopped as far as we know.
Right. And so it'll be interesting to see. And it's cool too, because then that gives us some time in season 2 for some Monster of the Week stuff if they want, where it's like the island, it needs 8 more, but
Yeah, and whether or not Ruth is alive really does change a bunch of stuff, because if she's dead, the only person who knows that we're aware of about Evan is Tom.
Right.
If she's alive, that's a different story. Like, he knows that she can get drugged up or whatever and start talking about her past dalliances.
Yeah.
So, but he also knows now that she is his mother-in-law and not the last descendant, and so killing her kind of has no purpose.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of the convoluted possible narrative twists in the next season is going to have to do with who communicates what with who else.
I think so.
But they killed Kenny.
Sorry,
Kenny.
Bastards.
Yeah. His flashlight's on the floor. Evan's face acting is really good in this moment. He really does like take in what's happening and have a moment of, oh, fuck, and like bolts out of there.
Yep.
Because the door unlocked itself.
Yeah, that door unlocked itself. Well, spiders have a lot of legs. So one reached out to hold the door. One ate, Kenny. Yeah. Speaking of flashlight, my biggest laugh in this episode, one of my biggest overall, is when the lights go out and Patricia turns that flashlight on like she's about to tell her story. Or, like she's about to tell a ghost story.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
so funny.
That is a situation I reference a lot in my classes when I'm talking about how to light a person. It's like, if you don't want the light coming from below because it looks like they're telling a ghost story.
Really made me laugh. Perfect Patricia moment. Perfect this show moment.
But also we get some other echoes like Patricia trying to tell everyone, like trying to lead, right? To tell people to calm down. And it reminded me of when she was giving her cursed speech
Yeah.
at the party, you know. But in this case, everyone is actually listening to her.
Yes.
Until other wrenches are thrown in the works. But, yeah, sorry, Kenny. The hatch is still partly open. We know that from what Dale has shown us, that the number of times the bell rings is the number of sacrifices the island demands. And there are 9 rings in the beginning of the season, and now there are 8. So it does seem that it doesn't matter who dies naturally or via disaster. It has to be an actual direct sacrifice.
Right.
In that room, in that chair.
Because it's hungry.
Yes. Because for me, at first I was like, well, wait, does that mean Todd's alive? Because we only had one less ding. But no, it has to be Todd was not sacrificed in the chair.
Again, trolley problem. The island will continue to kill everybody. Everybody's in danger if they don't.
And it refers back to the Stephen King story we talked about last week, The Storm of the Century, because the malevolent outsider that comes to the island says people will keep dying unless you give me a child.
Right.
So, yeah. So all of those disasters that we saw earlier on, the missing people posters in the police station, we have to assume, or at least I do assume, that those are all previous times the island has been angry.
Yeah, I wonder, right?
You know, the storm of 1783 and the shipwreck of blah, blah, blah. Like, all of those to me are the island wants a sacrifice, isn't getting it, and is going to, like, wreak havoc until somebody puts someone in that damn chair.
That's right.
Our final shot of the episode is the morning after. We see all the damage to the island, which is quite a bit. Pretty extensive. And Tom goes to throw the brooch in the water. Evan is in the car. Again, we don't know what the two of them have talked about in the evening. If there's been a conversation between the two of them where Evan talks about what he saw and Tom talks about what he learned, we don't know. You know, given Tom's history of half-truths with Evan, and kind of protecting him by not telling him stuff, I feel like he probably hasn't told him everything, but who knows? We won't, sadly, for a while. But yeah, what an amazing way to wrap this up. Because, you know, part of what got them to this place was Tom's personal, I don't want to say greed, but like in the broader sense of things, greed for the island to be normal, for his son to have a normal life, for his son to have like the experiences that are just not meant for the people on this island for some reason.
There is a part of me that if next season was just them luring people to the island so that they might feed them to the... I would kind of love it.
Well, so here's the thing. We could easily have a situation next season where they have to reform some sort of committee to make those decisions.
Like, right. And Dale knows, and he screamed it's a death trap, but it doesn't mean everybody on the island is going to know.
No. And the people that are now in the know are the people that, or in some version of it, are the people that we've gotten to know. So, like, our committee now could be, like, we could have meetings where instead of talking about how to entertain a New York Times writer, Dale and Rosemary and Tom and Patricia and Wick. And
what a crew.
And
are we missing
who else?
anyone?
I feel like we're missing someone. Ruth, maybe.
Maybe. Oh, Bashir.
Ruth
maybe.
And Bashir, are discussing. Because if Tom keeps the secret, if Ruth's not around or if Ruth doesn't blab or whatever, if Tom keeps the secret about Evan, they have no way of explaining why the island is... Like, if Ruth is dead and the island is still angry, then that leaves us with this, like, question of, okay, do we just keep sacrificing people because we don't know how to end it?
Right.
If it's not kill the last descendant.
It's degrees of trolley problem. Ring a bell every time I say trolley problem, because it's like Evan versus the island. Evan and or Ruth versus everybody on the island, basically.
Right.
Some people on the island versus everybody on the island. So just like, that's the nice little middle ground is for Tom, you know?
And like I said last week, we don't actually know for sure that if we don't know for sure if Richard is correct, that if there's no descendants left, The covenant ends, but then does that mean the island leaves everyone alone? I mean, I guess in the lore of the show, maybe, but
I want to talk about this like kind of triangulation of roles, and I don't know if this is helpful for anybody else, but so there's the Warren bloodline who have formed some covenant with the island.
Right.
Last living descendant.
Signed in blood, semen, and feces.
Right. Seems to have given Richard Warren, at the very least, some superpowers. At least, at the very least, can't be killed. I'm fighting like 3 roles here. And to me, it is the Warren line. Keep the covenant alive, whatever. Then there's the mayor, who in the original case happened to be Richard Warren. Right. Who seems to be in charge of managing the whole process, because those videos are under town hall. They're not kept with the Warren family.
Right.
And then the third is the church has some involvement, because that's where the bell is. Bryce found out. Yep. And so in this version, we have Tom, at the very least, who is the mayor. Mm-hmm. We have our Evan.
Mm-hmm. Who's a descendant.
Unknowing. Bryce is dead.
Yep.
But I don't know what to make of all of that, except to say, like, there's something about the, like, this, like, institutionalization of this ritualization where I'm like, all of that tells me that there is some, like, that what you were just saying of, well, we don't know that the last descendant is the thing that breaks this curse, because it's not, there are different pieces here. Yeah. Right? So, like, because that still leaves... So, I don't know. There's just a lot going on. Well,
so, yeah. I mean, I tend to believe now more than I did before that Richard Warren isn't necessarily lying about the descendant thing, and that our crux problem next season will be that Tom knows Evan's the descendant. Other people, if they know, we're going to try to kill Evan. So they need to satisfy the island in the meantime. But
there has to be another way, though, right?
Right. There's probably going to be, I would assume, some other twist, lore drop, something that tells us more. But because there's all of the weird time stuff, there's like other things floating around. Like we said, there's the boogeyman, who, to me, is probably someone that was either driven to madness by the island or was trying to find people to sacrifice to satisfy the island. So maybe a descendant, maybe a, town hall employee.
Or town hall, of the two.
Committee
or
member.
A clergy member.
Right.
Then what does that tell us? Nothing yet, but worth keeping all of that in mind when we remember that Patricia is the only one who survived him.
Yeah.
Why did he skip her over?
Yeah.
Has she never committed a sin in her life? Because you have to be wanting in some way.
Yeah.
But all the other teen girls had.
Right.
Was she the only virgin?
Well, she's got bad shoulders, though, and her chin is lacking.
True. So it could be that.
But no, I know. The why did Patricia survive thing is definitely sort of I almost said a hanging chad.
Hang a chat on a chat, I think is the saying you were trying to think of earlier.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, like, why didn't she die? Like, I think it's pretty clear that nobody believes it's because she hid under a bed.
Right.
So it's like, who has been making those decisions? Why haven't they been made for a while? Is it that the island was satisfied by something and now it's just coming back, or did something trigger it?
And is Warren unkillable because he's a Warren, or because he was a town protector? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does that extend to his descendants? Like, exactly. Is Evan unkillable unless they leave the island borders? Or is
Tom, because he's... And because, like, Howard the Coward, where did he go?
Yeah,
like, Howard the Coward's the boogeyman.
Right. Because her exact words about Howard the Coward was something about him leaving. I don't know if you have the transcript, but not that he died, but he left.
He was a decent man. I was surprised when he left, but people get scared.
And so maybe he wasn't from the island, right? Like, he could have been someone who could leave. But
Or maybe left just means they don't know where he went because he had... This is not actually a theory, but I'm just saying, like, if it's not the bloodline that gave Warren the superpower, it's the role of protector or role of facilitator, right?
Yeah. I'm inclined to believe more that because there's such an emphasis on Richard Warren's blood, that those would be the people that would be...
But then what about, it is the descendant line then is...
So a lot of people died.
Well, but would also have to be a lot of people who lived, because it would have, like, if being part of his bloodline means
protected you. Yes, yes, exactly.
So where are all of these immortal people?
Right. Maybe one is like the boogeyman. Like, are there a whole bunch more people?
I hope so.
Underground.
And maybe like time is so weird on this island that nobody really thinks about the fact that some people have been around for generations. Like,
and that's why you don't go to the old hospital. And that's why Shep is 37.
Right.
And there's all sorts of those weird things going on. So yeah, I think that there's a lot left open for us, which is great. Like, they solved a few things, they answered some questions, and they left enough for a new set of mysteries for us to explore next season. So yeah, I think that there's a structure that we've been given, and I'm suspicious of that structure, which I think is what we should be.
Yeah, well said. I think that's right.
But yeah, there's So outstanding questions beyond what we've talked about, like what's in the other shelters? Is it more of the same? Did we just not go there because there weren't as many people? Like, what would happen if Evan tried to leave the island? Like,
do we know what called the monster? What whatever? I shouldn't say monster. Do we know why the island picked this moment to start demanding sacrifices?
Yeah. And like, also, all these people that we've heard things about could be recontextualized by this knowledge that we've gained. So like Tom talked about how his dad was an alcoholic and was kind of a mean person. Well, if his dad was a part of some council where they had to decide if they were going to kill people or not and who was going to die, like, I would be a drunk too. Like, so there's all sorts of ways to, given our new knowledge, look back and be like, hey, what about this person, this thing, this event? Like, how does it fit into our new understanding of the way the island works?
Totally. More practical question, I guess. What is in Tom's basement?
Yeah, that's another question. Like, why does he not want anyone going in his basement?
Is it just the tunnels that, those, did you guys have rumors in your neighborhood about tunnels under the neighborhood that led to everybody's houses if you could just find them?
I feel like every neighborhood has rumors about tunnels, but maybe that's just Jersey.
Jersey, who knows, or 90s or whatever. But this seems to be, at the very least, we know the town hall, that well.
The restaurant
all lead at least to the sacrifice chair.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, like, does Tom's basement have a link to it as well?
Right. If so, why?
Because that would be something that if Tom knows more than he was saying to us and to Evan for most of the season, like, if his house is connected to the tunnels that go to the chair, of course he's not going to want his kid going down there.
Right. Yeah.
But also in the hotel episode, when he goes in that crawl space, he seems surprised by the crawl space. And so it's sort of like,
that's true.
Where does the hotel crawl space go? Why is there he sees a dead person underneath that has wearing the same shirt as him?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that.
I have no explanation for that, but I did note that, like, the flash of a skeleton he sees when he's being chased by the evil clown is wearing the same shirt that he's wearing in that moment. And
that part is not,
And Willie the Killer Clown looks suspiciously like the guy in the Dharma Initiative video, by the way. Like, not the same, but, like, very similarly styled. It could just be the era, but...
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, because Willie says to Tom, I know you're a good mayor. Like, what does it mean to be a good mayor?
Good mayor in a town where part of the mayor's job is sacrificing people. Yeah.
I'm very curious about the function of a town council going forward.
I know. There's a lot.
There is a lot, and I am excited about it. I am sad that it's going to take fucking forever.
I know. But we've got lots of stuff coming back in the next, short and long-term in between, so we'll stay busy.
Good transition, Andrea.
Thank you so much.
That was such a nice segue.
And it's also true. Thank God for TV. Thank God there's more than one thing for me to watch. Yeah. Nothing as good as this right now.
No. But this is honestly the thing I have enjoyed the most since maybe season 1 of Yellow Jackets, to be completely honest with you.
Wow,
like that I've had that much
so.
joy for.
I think so too, because I had such a new, wonderful, refreshing, exciting experience with Pluribus. But
I wasn't quite as into that as I am into this. I agree. I had a great time with Pluribus, but I felt disconnected from it in a way that I don't with this. And I think it just has to do with the Jersey, the horror comedy mix. Like
it was already
the New England lore. Like it's just made for us.
Exactly.
But yeah, we should talk about what's coming up. Before we do that real quick, I know everybody's dying to know that the best survivalist capitalist critique reality show Alone is now back,
and we will be covering it week to week in great detail.
Can you imagine if I did that to you? I sometimes have a harder time with that show than others. This is supposedly the world championships this season, so they've got.
It's all people you know.
No, it's just international, which is like, okay. But they're in the Arctic Circle. So, no, it's usually mostly people from the U.S. with an occasional person from somewhere else, but I guess this time it's intentionally more international. There's like a guy from Portugal, a guy from Slovenia, a guy from Australia. I mean, international is a vague term. There's like, a couple guys from the U.S., guy from Canada, a few others here and there. Okay. There is again, nobody cares about this with me, but there is an Inuit, I believe, person from like that lives in like a northern climate already in a much more traditional way.
Cool.
And is doing a lot of work to educate people about like his traditions.
If you're gonna do a dumb shit show like this.
Yeah. And they do, to give them credit, like every season they have had elders from the indigenous population where they are holding it come and do like a blessing for their journeys and talk about like the history of the place and all of that. So that's
not expecting to hear that.
I know. That's what I mean about this show being weirdly like for guys who go hunting on weekends, guys who do bushcraft in their backyards.
Mm-hmm.
And
you.
Also weirdly me, like I don't like the hunting part of it, but I morally like the fact that they've put themselves in this situation. They're killing something, but they're also eating it, using every part of it. Mm-hmm. And like I don't eat meat really, but I do sometimes, and I didn't kill that myself. So who am I? But watching it is a whole other thing. But anyway, the Before the Drop was on last night. There was all this really interesting info about how they set up in this place because it's like really isolated this time, and they had to build an entire little village for the production crew. And
wow.
And then they had the first episode also air right after that. So I don't know. I find it completely fascinating. I would love nothing more than to sit down with Jason Mantzoukas and talk about it. Mm-hmm. But girl can dream. But we're not going to be covering Alone on this show, even though I will probably bring it up every now and then when something crazy happens.
This is the most interested I've been to watch it.
I mean, I would say if you're interested at all, I would watch... I would say the Before the Drop, it does a really good job of setting up the premise. So there's every season they do like a behind the scenes before they do the first episode.
See, I like that.
They talk about the location, the people, like they talk about the training that people go through, which is pretty minimal. It's mostly camera training because they have to film themselves.
Right.
But this time they also talked about like the refeeding process. So when they come back and they've like starved themselves essentially for however many weeks or months, like they showed like the meals they'll be given to kind of avoid refeeding syndrome when they come back and stuff.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's just a lot of like interesting things you wouldn't think of in your daily life. Like I would assume, you end up in a place where there's a lot of like hair that you can trap. Great, you're in good shape. No, hair has very
H-A-R-E.
Yes, not actual hair. This is not an island with teeth
except
and
for
hair.
the teeth.
Yeah. No, but like, rabbit, very little fat. You need fat, right? A lot of people, they give you a list of things you can and can't bring. You can select 10 items out of that list, blah, blah, blah. One of the things people sometimes bring is a block of salt. Because you need sodium salt to survive.
Yes.
And you won't be getting as much of it, and the more people know about plants, the better they do, typically. their dental health suffers. So there's like a guy there that was like, ooh, my site has a bunch of spruce pitch and I'm going to chew the spruce pitch because I like it. It reminds me of tobacco, but it's also good for your teeth. Like, so I don't know. As a person who just like loves nerding out about like strange facts, it's real good for that.
Okay. Yeah, I might give it a whirl. I'll keep you posted.
Let me know if you do, because like I find it fascinating. I don't think it's something we would ever cover on the show necessarily, but like I think it would be interesting to you if you can handle occasionally watching someone kill a rabbit, which is very difficult for me to do. I'd kind of turn away, but
yeah, I mean, same for me. I did grow up with a stepfather who was a hunter, though. So
yeah, and that's
I've
the thing.
Seen my
like
fair share of dead animals, unfortunately.
Yeah. And my uncle was a hunter, and like I don't think there's necessarily something inherently. I don't think I could do it, but that's a me thing.
I know that I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know, they're like the one of the guys last night in the show, he killed a rabbit and then ate the rabbit and then was like, "Ooh, I'm going to make a nice pair of gloves out of this skin to keep my hands warm," you know, and like they use all of it, and they to a person in last night's episode were like thanking the animal that gave its life, and like, you know, I don't know, the man that was from an indigenous culture was talking about how if you kill a bear, you do this thing to release its spirit from the body. And it's fascinating. So
that's cool.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We are going to be watching The Bear. Speaking of bears.
Oh, speaking of bears, it is what we are here to talk about.
So The Bear's coming out next week for the final season.
Thank God for shows that are
I thought you were going to say thank God it's the final season.
I mean, kind of.
That's a little bit how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, we had much more positive feelings about last season than a lot of people did, but I think the show is ready. I'm ready. I saw a very quick, I don't know if it's other places. I saw Disclosure Day last week, which I have feelings about, but there was a quick Bear final season trailer, and a couple of people on that show, like my dear sweet Jeff Hiller, I can't look at now without feeling choked up. So
yeah, no, I know.
I'm really looking forward to seeing my friends again at the very least.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of how I feel about this season is going to depend on, and we talked about this when we watched, when we brought up briefly Gary, like the idea of the show focusing solely on Carmy and Richie and the restaurant and saving or not saving the restaurant is less interesting to me than if they really incorporate more about Sydney and Marcus and the other people. And so it'll kind of, how I feel about it will kind of depend on the direction they take the final season.
Yeah, agreed.
But either way, we are going to talk about it. So I think we had decided the way we were going to do this was next week we do sort of a table setting, like where are we?
Yeah.
Not a recap because it's been 4 seasons, but like...
But just like, here's the things we've been thinking about. Yeah. Let's remember.
Right.
And I think the plan will be to drop that either the morning of or the day before, just kind of depending on my work schedule. Yeah. But if you need a refresher, you could definitely check that out.
And you don't want to watch all 4 seasons all over again. You just want to remember where to jump back in. And then because it's an all-at-once drop, we are going to peek behind the curtain. I'm traveling for most of July, so we're going to pre-record chunk episodes. So like 1 through 3, I think there's 9 episodes. So I think we're going to do 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and 7 through 9 as 3 separate episodes. So you don't have to watch them all at once. You can watch the first 3, listen to an episode, watch the next 3, listen to an episode. Like,
so that'll be
take your time.
Yeah. So that'll be the next month, basically, of the podcast. Yep. Which will be good because if you're like me, you are going to binge the whole season in one go and then feel upset that you don't have anyone to talk to in a week or 2 once all the hubbub has died down, which is what happens with me whenever I binge anything. So
yeah, so we are going to do that for July. And then we will talk about what's after that. After that.
And so which means this will be out before we record that catch-up episode. Give us a call. Let us know what you're looking forward to, what questions you have for the Bear, what actors, because we know they love a guest star.
Ooh,
just remind us about anything that maybe we've forgotten about. And you can do that by giving us a call at 856-336-8986. Clap. Andrea did it so fast.
Nice job.
Or you can also text us at that number. We don't say that every week. You can email us at watcherspodnj@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, watcherspodnj. What else?
You can find me on Instagram at Jodie_Mim, JODIEE_MIM. It has nothing to do with pop culture or this podcast, though. So, don't come there to talk to me about. Well,
Period.
You could
just come there to talk to me.
No, don't. If you're interested in fiber art, go there. But otherwise,
do what you want. But
yeah.
And I'm at AQ. You can, of course, though. Nobody does anymore. Leave us a 5-star review on
Nobody
Apple
does anymore.
Podcasts.
Somebody did a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, somebody left us a 1-star review.
No, there's another one before that or after that?
It was. You're right. That was 3 weeks ago.
We should shame people.
I'm just saying, we got our first 1-star review that really screwed our average. We were a perfect 5, and we're down to 4.7. So,
rude.
If you love us, you'll leave us a 5-star review. But actually, do whatever's in your heart. I don't care.
Yeah.
You live your truth, and if that truth happens to be leaving us a 5-star review, that's great.
Yeah, and if it happens to be leading someone to sacrifice in a chair underneath a town hall,
then there's less of that.
You can also do that.
And if you don't want to do that, Jodie,
what
else could you do?
The first choice would definitely be to bang yourself in the head.
Get in the car.
And go to New Jersey.